by SV.com.
Hello everyone,
Hello,
my name is Kiki and
I'm Paul.
Today we're here at Sichuan University of Science and Engineering, and we're going to be talking to some of their international students regarding the COVID-19, how it has affected their daily lives. As we all know, COVID-19 is a pandemic that has destabilized the whole world, and so today we're going to be talking to some of the international students and see what they have to say regarding this pandemic.
Yeah, as well, you know, we got many culture and many kind of language in the school. So I will make a small introduction for the people who speak French. So, bonjour les amis, encore là pour vous parler de l'impact du COVID-19 sur la vie estudiantine des étudiants de l'université de Sichuan, University of Science and Engineering. So, we'll be going and talk to the students soon. So, keep on going, keep on watching. We'll be talking to you.
Let's go interview them.
See you. Hey, that side.
That's cool on the beat.
Hello guys, my name is Karen Kuzai and we are doing an awareness campaign on the COVID-19, a pandemic that has hit the world, the whole world, and we all know how serious this thing is. So today I got a chance to speak to some international students at SUSE. With me I have my brother. Can you please introduce yourself?
Dajaha, Oshimatai, Olaizi, Zimbabwe, or the young means she, Chafet Machipisa, or she Sichuan Chinqua Gondashe, the Shusheng, or the junior she, Tumo Gongcheng.
所以马台能告诉我们学校如何帮助确保国际学生的安全。
老师们每天给我们新的工作，他们也每天检查我们的温度。老师们也每天帮我们买东西这些，所以我们非常感谢老师们。
好，在病毒的时候，你对在线课程的感觉如何？
学习这些，我觉得学习这些很方便，也容易。我们不用去教室上课，我们也可以一边吃饭一边学习。
所以你们吃饭。
对。
好， tell us how you coping with the lockdown situation.
Well, all I can say to that is we thank God for free Wi-Fi and TikTok, also known as doing in Chinese. But on a serious note, though, we are also taking the time to learn the Chinese language and improve our speaking skills.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So, how has the COVID-19 affected your daily life?
For starters, we couldn't go outside to buy groceries, and shopping for other stuff. So we had to resort to buying online, of which buying online it's perks like sometimes you order an airport and you get a banana.
Really?
Yeah, but I understand it's due to the high demand though. But on a serious note, like us international students, for instance, me, I'm from Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is currently under lockdown. Like our folks back home, they can't go to the banks to deposit money. So it's affecting us like in a negative way. Like we don't have money for shopping, for groceries and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow. That's really bad.
Yeah,
so
it is.
despite all that, despite that your country is under lockdown and you can't receive money from your parents, how have you managed to pull through?
Well, we international students, like we have managed to all come together and all share what we have right now in order to pull through.
Oh, it's really generous of you guys having to share your stuff with other people. How did you manage to make that possible with others because of different religions and races? How did you come about it?
Well, one thing that this whole situation taught us was to unite. Like we all had to come together in order to eradicate that barrier between races, because we are all international students here. We come from different backgrounds, different countries. So uniting it brought us even closer together. So yeah, this situation had its own advantages in the end.
Yeah, that's really great. So, Japheth, on your
Yeah.
own view, what impact has the pandemic had towards education?
我们本来3月应该开始学习我们的专业，但是从3月到现在，因为疫情的困难，我们没开始学习我们的专业，我们只学习中文这些。
So, do you have any advice for people out there who are watching?
All I can say to the people out there is sanitize, practice social distancing. Whenever going out, wear a mask. Yeah, that's all. And also do not let social barriers like race barriers come in between you.
Zimbabwe, a student at SUSE, majoring in civil engineering. And this is what he had to say about the pandemic that has hit the whole world. Take care, guys. Stay
Ciao.
safe. Ciao.
Well, I'd say I became less productive, but my family and I have been trying to handle the situation very well, and we are now trying to spend more times together, which is great, I find. What has literally changed is that I'm trying to work on myself and I'm trying to work on my spirituality. So I started doing practicing some yoga, meditation in order to keep my mental health at its finest. And as I said, literally everything has literally changed. So I'm supposed to be now in China, but now I'm here pursuing my studies online, and studying online is a new thing too. So yeah, this is it. Well, as we say and believe, necessity is the mother of invention. That's why, fortunately, now we are seeing a lot of creativity from many countries in order to continue the process of education. Most countries are now opting, of course, for online tools to assure that lessons, plans, videos, and other resources are available for some students and, of course, for the most of teachers. But what I'm really worried about relying on exclusively on online strategies is that it may imply reaching only children from better off families, and especially in developing or non-developed countries. So what I think is that this pandemic situation has given us the opportunity to discover the creativity of human being, especially during times of crisis, in order to find solutions for anything. Well, during this pandemic situation, I think online classes are a must, and they are pretty useful and everything. My teachers are understanding and helpful. But as an international student in China, I'm now in my country, and it's a bit exhausting because of the jet lag. It's okay for me since I'm pursuing my studies and I'm not wasting this time. So yeah, I'm feeling good about them. Well, scary, if I can say this. I felt the anxiousness and despair, and my mind kept throwing what if scenarios. For example, will my family be safe? With all these questions. But then this was only during the first days, but then I got used to it. First of all, I'm very glad seeing China is healing by now, and I hope so for the rest of the world. So I think that was a very wise decision made by the school, because we all know that lifting up all the restrictions all of a sudden might be somehow dangerous. So I think that was a very wise decision, and seeing the school making all these efforts in order to protect their students, and also putting in place serious restrictions, I think makes me feel both relieved and glad for being a part of this great community. A whole lifestyle has changed. But if I want to describe this period in brief, I'd say more internet use, less human interaction. Doing good. I've been just making myself busy in order to distract myself from having any negative thoughts or anxiety. The thing is that I've been spending the whole period trying to learn things. I've been always looking forward to learn, but never had the chance or the time to do so. And I've been always practicing my passion, which is photography and making artistic portraits, writing also. So yeah, this is how I cope with it.
大家好，我介绍一下，我是甘代，来自几内亚，我是土木工程的学生，我现在在职工学习计算机化工大学。在肺炎期间，由于冠状病毒的感染，造成了一些室内出行不便，同时也影响到了我的健身打算。学校采取了隔离式授课，在学校门口，都备了体温，也每日健康打卡。学校也给了我们免费的口罩。老师说，学校把每个同学好好照顾。我也应该说，现在生活当中非常难，因为很无聊。我们很少出去玩，每天在宿舍看书、看电影、睡觉，这样的生活很无聊，我也讨厌了。Je dirais la pandémie Covid-19 a eu beaucoup d'effets sur l'éducation. Et vraiment, je dirais que la pandémie Covid-19 a provoqué la baisse du niveau d'études de certains étudiants. Bah, les premiers jours de la quarantaine, c'était une sorte de prison, je le dirais ainsi, parce que quelqu'un qui n'a pas d'habitude de passer 8 heures dans un même lieu, et si brusquement on lui dit comme ça, de ne pas sortir 24 heures sur 24, il est confiné dans la chambre, Donc franchement, c'est quelque chose qui était très très difficile pour moi et tant d'autres personnes aussi, j'espère. Parce que personne ne peut apprécier cette manière de vivre parce que c'est comme un prisonnier en fait. C'est de ouf. La pandémie Covid-19 a eu beaucoup d'effets sur l'éducation. Et premièrement, je dirais que ça a provoqué la baisse du niveau de certains étudiants, le niveau d'études de certains étudiants, puisque beaucoup, disons tout le monde, n'a pas accès au lieu, vraiment, je dirais pas, tout le monde n'a pas accès à la bibliothèque, aux salles de classe. Et tu vois, en dehors des salles de classe, ils n'arrivent pas à étudier. Donc, ça a provoqué la baisse du niveau de certains étudiants. Et deuxièmement, je dirais que aussi, on a observé le retard et le lâchement des programmes dans les écoles, dans les universités, puisqu'il y a eu au moins, dans certains pays, 2 ou 3 mois, les gens sont à la maison confinés, ils ne sortent pas de classe, donc c'est très difficile, c'était très difficile pour certains pays d'achever les programmes. Et troisièmement, je dirais aussi, disons, puisque je viens de parler, je dirais aussi la crainte d'une année blanche dans certains pays comme les pays africains. Parce que jusqu'à présent, il y a beaucoup de pays qui n'ont pas encore repris les cours. Donc c'est une chose qui craint beaucoup et ça joue sur l'avenir, si on ne peut pas d'un pays, c'est l'éducation. Donc si cela est freiné à cause d'une pandémie, donc franchement c'est de la merde, je m'excuse du thème. C'est pourquoi j'ai pris Dieu, le Tout-Puissant là, et qu'il puisse franchement nous aider à éradiquer cette pandémie. Les mesures mises en place par l'école pour s'assurer que tout le monde est en sécurité, vraiment c'était quoi? Ils ont l'interdiction de tout le monde, je vais dire quoi par là, et le confinement en fait. Donc c'est la règle, et tout le monde a adopté quoi. Et deuxièmement, la prise de la température obligatoire à chaque jour, disons 3 fois par jour, hein, disons comme ça. Et aussi le port obligatoire des bavettes ou des masques. Et voilà, ce sont les mesures que l'école a mis en place pour s'assurer que tout le monde est en sécurité. Les mesures mises en place par l'école pour s'assurer que tout le monde est en sécurité sont entre autres. Premièrement, c'est quoi? L'interdiction de sortir. Et deuxièmement, c'est quoi? Le port obligatoire des bavettes ou des masques. Troisièmement, la prise de la température à chaque jour. Disons 3 fois par jour, comme ça. Et aussi, même aujourd'hui, comme ça, on a procédé à un test de Covid-19 pour s'assurer réellement si tout le monde est en bonne santé. Donc je dirais que franchement, l'école a fait son mieux. L'école a fait son mieux.
Salutations of the day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lisette Nkomo, and here with me today is Miss Tabitha Moyo, who is going to be giving us a brief discussion on the current pandemic. So before we move on, we'd like Miss Tabitha to introduce us and where she's currently studying and the course she's studying.
Salutations of the day. My name is Tabitha Moyo, and my Chinese name is Mosha. I'm studying International Trade and Economics at Sichuan Ligongdashu in China. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. So can you briefly tell us what has been the impact of the pandemic so far?
The impact of the pandemic.
Yes.
Well, the pandemic...
towards education, of course.
Okay. It has derailed progress. Everything is on hold. And some students, they don't have access to learning facilities, so it has left everyone shocked. And for example, the graduating students, they are left with the uncertainty of whether they are to graduate or they are to graduate next year. We don't know whether it's this year or next year because the pandemic is still a going case.
Okay, that has been a huge struggle, especially for those who do not have access to extracurricular studies and stuff like that. Okay, thank you, ma'am. So can we know how has the pandemic affected your social life or maybe your daily life?
My daily life. Well, since the pandemic started and the country was declared on lockdown, we were not able to go out as friends. I can't go out with families, and I can't meet up with my friends. For example, from school, we came back together from school. We can't go out for drinks. We can't go out and watch movies. So it has been really a stress for everyone.
Okay. So you mentioned that that the pandemic came across as a shock, right?
Yes.
So we just want to know, how did it feel like in the first days of the pandemic? How did it all play out for you?
Well, I was scared, and I'm still scared because seeing I'm still in my country, I haven't gone back to school. I don't know, the future is inevitable. I don't know what is to happen to my studies if this pandemic continues. So yeah, I'm still
quarantine. How has it progressed for you, and how has it felt like being stuck in the house like for almost every day?
Well, I can say it came out as an advantage.
Okay.
It's a really good advantage because now I can spend time with my family. You know, it's been, I think, 2 years without me being at home.
Okay.
So spending time with my family, my twin brother, I missed him so much. So yeah, it's been really wonderful, even though it's lockdown, but at least I got something out of it.
Yeah, but we do know it can be stressful sometimes. So can you briefly tell us what has been your coping mechanism for the whole thing?
It's writing. I'm an
Okay.
author. I write poetry.
Wow.
And also reading novels. I love reading novels.
Okay.
So I've been reading and writing, as well reading my own books, because I still have hope that I'm going back to school soon.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it.
So Miss Tabitha, I am of the understanding that you are an international student and you study in China, right?
Yes.
So how has the school in which you're going to, right, or rather, what has the school done to make sure that the international students are kept safe during this pandemic?
Well, the school has played a very big role, and we thank them for that. For the students that are still on the campus, they've been strictly monitored.
Okay.
There is no movement, and even though there's movement, but they have to have a permit to go outside. So yeah, it's been good. And for us who are stuck in our countries, we've been introduced to online classes, which have helped a lot.
Okay.
Yes.
So okay, from what you've just said right now, I'm just deducing that you're really happy with the online classes, right?
Yes.
And how have you been gaining from these online classes?
I've been gaining a lot because my studies have been continuing even though I'm on lockdown. I have access to everything that has to do with my studies.
Okay.
Even though it's not the same as being in class. You know, it's one thing to be learning in class and having a teacher, and it's also another thing to be learning online. But after all, it's for the best.
Okay.
Yes.
So ladies and gentlemen, we've heard what Miss Tabitha here has had to say. From the rest of us, we're saying, stay home, stay safe, #alone together.
Thank you.
Hello guys, again, we just came back here and get to interview one of my fellow of SUSE, and we just introduce ourselves, talk about the impact of COVID-19 in and towards our school, our foreign school, the foreign part of our school. So we'll be speaking 2 languages. We'll be talking about in Chinese and also in English. So firstly, we talk to him in Chinese. We'll be talking in Chinese. 你好，
你好，兄弟。
兄弟，你今天怎么了？
还好，还好，
还好，真好。那你给大家介绍你自己一下吗？
我叫张波，我来自于坦桑尼亚。我已经在中国有1年半。
1年半，对。真好。 那你在中国1年半，你觉得如何呢？怎么样？
我觉得真不错。
真不错。
对，只是一般真不错。可是
一般一般。
最近这个 COVID-19的事情，我觉得还行。
这个好，就是我们真明白。那但是我的他叫江波，那你的英语名字是什么？
我的英语名字就是John Protest Kachenji， 我觉得这个一点难。
OK。我们要说，那你觉得那个病情对你的教育有什么影响？
我觉得这个 COVID-19的疫情，对我们的教育有很大的影响。这个 COVID-19对我们，让我们在线上课。对。可是这个在线上课，对一些同学们不太方便。对。比如说这个学校有来自四面八方的同学。
是的。
比如说我的朋友他现在回家了，他在澳门。对。可是澳门和中国的市区不一样。对。所以我们有很早的课，比如说8点
早上。
对，8点早上的时候，我们在线上课的时候，他一定要在黎明起床上课，所以我觉得这个不太方便。对。而且这个在线上课对一些同学学不清楚。对。
明白了。那这个印象也特别大。我真的明白。Okay, as you said, you talked about the impact of the COVID-19 on your study.
Yeah.
So let me ask you another question. How did COVID-19 impact your daily life?
Yeah, well, normally I would go out with my friends, and hang out.
Yeah, normally.
Yeah. But now during the COVID-19 epidemic, it's quite difficult to go outside. For example, at its peak, you can't go even outside the gate, and like things which I love to do. For example, playing football, something that I love,
Yeah, we play together.
Yeah, but during that time now you can't do that. You can't, like at its peak. Yeah, we can't even go to the to go and play. But maybe later, after maybe some restrictions have been lifted, yeah, we could go and play. And like right now, right now it's a bit hot, and I'll be looking for places to go and swim. I love swimming too. But now, due to this COVID-19, can't.
There's no way to get out and to just going on the same routine every day.
Yeah, you can't.
So every time you're just staying in the dormitory, just having nothing to do.
Yeah.
Only about studies.
Yeah, maybe sometimes watch some videos.
Watching some videos online, bro. Yeah. We all do it. Yeah, you understand. 好，你刚刚说过了，关于你的这个病毒对你的学习、对你的日子怎么样呢？还有，我要问你一个问题啊，你如何处理封锁情况呢？你觉得如何？
我们在隔离的时候，我们就是在宿舍里，我们就是都在寝室里。在隔离的时候，就是具有一个主要的问题。这个问题就是无聊。
特别无聊。
所以我怎么避免这个问题呢？我就是都在寝室看电影，对不对？还有那个我们最近有这个一些课，就是上网课，对。还有我在寝室我也用那个 YouTube， 对，那个 YouTube 和抖音对，抖音那个看有趣的视频，是这样子我可以避免这个无聊的问题。
所以你平时在寝室的话，你明天都是天天都在看那些视频，就是写作业、上课的那种。
也睡觉。
睡觉也是肯定的啊，也是必须的。如果你不睡觉，你怎么上课呢？就是我觉得也还行。So, you just talk about the way the COVID-19 affect your daily life, your routine, your studies. So, how, as a member of the school, just as a student of the school, how the school just like did help you, did help maybe let's say all the foreign students in the school, just like to keep them safe. How did they do that?
Yeah, well, first I have fun with school, you know.
Yeah.
I think they have done a real good job, you know. Like, for example, they have been providing us with masks, you know. Like there was a time where like masks were very scarce, but well, you know, the school is school. Yeah, they provided us with masks. And another thing is that they have been providing us with like useful information about the disease and how to prevent ourselves, you know. That kind of information is helpful, you know.
Yes.
And also they have been also providing us with like emotional support, you know. Like, you know, some people panic, you know. So they have been like helping us like to calm down, like don't fear what things like some people are going home, like everybody was So I think they have been doing a good job, and just from the teachers, the eyes, they have been good. They have been doing a good job, to be honest. Like, for me,
that's great.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
So you're gonna say thanks also to the teachers to just provide all these things, those materials, all the prevention just measure about the COVID-19, and thank them also for the support, that's a moral support, and all the stuff they made. We are very grateful for this. And 那我还有最后一个问题要问你，我们现在因为这个病情呢，我们平时在线上课，你觉得在线上课怎么样呢？
在线上课我觉得有利有弊，对对，所以有利就是我们在中国的同学一点方便，对，因为我们不一定出教室上课，我们只要有那个手机或者电脑，就是你可以上课，就是这样子。还有那个有弊就是我们在线上课，我们不能学习所有的课程。比如说我的专业那个化学工程有那个实验课，对，实验的课程。那个比如说分析化学的实验课，还有那个有机化学的实验课。我们在线我们不能学习这个课程，所以我觉得这样子不太行，对不对？就是因为没有办法，
没有办法。
对，可是如果有别的办法，我觉得在线上课才行。
对，我明白了。所以因为这个病情呢，我们不能在教室里面做那个实验课嘛，我们不会去实践一下。那这样好。What advice can you give to your friends? When I say friends, it's about the classmates back home, to maybe let's say all the guys you know and all the students that you know. Just like, what kind of advice can you give them?
Well, to my friends, my classmates, maybe those who are here and those who are at home, those who went back, you know, I would like to advise you to, you know, to keep protecting yourselves, you know. This coronavirus is real, you know, and you should know that you're waiting for you here, you know. Just keep safe, you know, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again here.
Zambia. My English names are Shalom Banda.
大家好，我叫苏梅，我来自 Zimbabwe. My English names are Primrose Varaizofuge.
Alright, nice to meet you, Rose.
Nice to meet you too.
Today I'm going to be interviewing Rose about the COVID-19 and how she had to cope with the situation. So Rose, what are the impact of the pandemic towards education?
Looking at the coronavirus at the side of the educational sector, right? It has affected a lot in the educational sector, looking at how sudden the schools just had to close down. There was no notice, and we can actually see that not everyone was prepared for it. Maybe there were exams which were pending, and there were a lot of activities which are supposed to be done in the school which were pending, and they could not be done due to the coronavirus. Everything just stopped, right? So it actually affected a lot, like in the educational sector. Also looking in, they said we should do online classes, right? But looking at other places, like at other countries, they do not have that technology to cater for those online classes. So not everyone could get access to learn, to continue from where they stopped from. And also looking at those like who are about to graduate this year, they could not actually do what they were supposed to do. Like looking now that it's their final year, there could be a lot of things that they were supposed to do, the final touchings, but they could not do it due to the coronavirus. So actually it affected a lot in the educational sector.
Okay, speaking of that, how has the COVID-19 affected your daily life?
Looking at myself, actually it just stopped. It stopped everything in my life. Like my whole life is on a pause. I cannot do anything, the same routine of like every day I have to wake up, eat, sleep, wake up, eat, sleep. The same routine is now boring. Like everything is now boring. I cannot do anything. When you're just sitting alone, you feel depressed at some time. Like you don't have anything else to do, so you just feel depressed. Like, so it has just put my life on a pause. I cannot do anything.
So how did it feel in the first days of the quarantine period?
In the first days of the quarantine, I actually felt as if I had the coronavirus itself. Like, like hearing that there's this virus, it's killing people, and there's lockdown, you're not supposed to go outside. At some point, I actually feel like, oh, I have the symptoms for corona, I'm going to die. What am I going to do? That kind of panic. But as time goes on, I started getting used to it.
And what changed during the quarantine period?
Actually, during the quarantine period, as time was moving, I actually got used to the corona. Like, I actually got to understand what staying indoors meant and how good it was for me. So actually, that kind of depression started fading, going away, since I now understood why it was important for me to stay inside. And also the measures which were taken by the school actually made my heart at ease. Like I could feel that, I'm not going to die. It's just a precaution measure which is being taken.
So how do you cope with the situation? At this point, how do you cope with it?
Actually, I grew to take the quarantine period as a time for meditation for my life. So during this quarantine period, I was just meditating on my life. So I actually turned the depression time to the meditation time. So taking the time as the meditation time, just looking at my life, what I want to do and stuff, it has actually made me cope with the quarantine period. As in, I no longer feel depressed. I'm now doing well. Like I'm taking the time as doing something like which will help my life. Just meditating on myself.
Okay, that is really, really good. Meditation is really nice. Okay, so how did the school help the international students during this pandemic situation?
Oh, actually the school did a lot. It tried its best. Like, for example, it provided masks for everyone. It provided information on what the coronavirus is and the precaution measures which should take to prevent the coronavirus. And actually it made sure that no one went out. Like, it was for the safety of us. They locked all the gates, right? It made sure that no one got out of the campus. So that made us sure that there was no one who was going to come inside with the coronavirus to affect us. Also, the school actually provided the problem with food. Since we were under lockdown, we could not get outside to get food or what, but the school actually organized with a certain shop that we can actually order food from. Then this shop will bring food inside the school. So that was a great measure taken by the school. So yeah, the school have been trying a lot.
Okay. So what are the measures being put in place by the school to make sure that everyone is still safe despite the lifting of lockdown restriction in most provinces?
Actually, at my school, we are still under lockdown. We are still actually locked inside this school, and it's actually good for us because Corona is still out there. It's still out there, so it's actually good for us. We never know who might come inside with coronavirus. So, for the safety of everyone, to the school is just making sure that no one goes outside. Yeah.
So the last question will be, how do you feel about the online classes during this pandemic situation?
The online classes, they're kind of an advantage to us. Like, I can actually learn while still in my blankets, just sleeping. Then I go into class. It's actually nice, I won't have to work. But actually, looking on the real fact, it's not easy learning online. Like, that feeling like when you're actually seeing the lecturer face to face, you can easily understand things rather than just sitting listening to him on the phone or on the laptop. You won't get to ask exactly what you want. But when you are actually attending the classes, like looking at the lecturer himself, you can actually get to ask him questions directly. So online classes has been restricting us from the direct one-to-one session with the lecturer. So it's not easy. Yeah. And sometimes it's an advantage since I'll be in my blankets.
Alright, it was really nice talking to you, Sume. Oh, use your English words. It was really nice. I really had fun. Alright, thank you so much. Dai Jali.
Stay safe.
Thank you, Zaijen.
Zaijen.
So I've been joined by another international student from SUSE who is a South African. My brother, can you please introduce yourself?
我是何建贤，我来自南非。我是Sichuan 清华大学学生。现在我学习我的专业制药工程 ，that is pharmaceutical engineering.
So Godwin, can you please tell us how the COVID-19 has affected your daily life?
Well, COVID-19 has affected a lot of our daily routines. So basically these days we are not allowed to go outside, so basically you just stay indoors. You just do your thing indoors, you cook, you eat, you sleep, and then just do a little of entertainment. That's it.
So don't you ever go out even to exercise or do sports or anything of that sort?
Yeah, some of the days you can go, that is if you have a face mask. So if you don't have a mask, they don't allow you to go out. So basically it's prohibited to go outside. They just encourage you to stay indoors.
Since you're not going outside, what measures have they put in place to make sure that you guys are safe?
Firstly, as I said before, they don't allow us to go outside frequently like we used to do back then. So right now they help us to buy things online. See, like if you want to buy your groceries or your stationery to learn or to study, they buy you, they assist you in buying it. You see. So like nowadays there's this application which was introduced like soon after the outbreak of coronavirus. So it helps you to buy your groceries through online and then just make an online transaction. And then after 1 hour or 2 hours, the food is delivered. And the other thing, the dormitories now, they are being logged and they are monitored using the police and the CCTV camera. So like when you want to go out, you have to sign in if it's something important so that the teachers will give you a pass so that you go outside. So basically it was a way of minimizing the movement of people, because if you move out and then you can contact
The coronavirus. Oh, okay. So, can you please tell us how it felt like during the early days of the quarantine period?
It was a bit scary because coronavirus is a deadly thing. So it was difficult for people to accept that it's a thing which can live amongst us. So yeah, it was.
And that
It was
you guys
scary.
could not even go out. It's
Yeah.
something that you were not used to.
Yes, and then during the early days we couldn't find the mask easily. Like
So, according to your own view, what is the impact of the pandemic towards the education?
yeah, well, since the outbreak of coronavirus, we were supposed to open schools in March, so they introduced online learning. So basically, they create a group so that all the students can interact with the teacher and then share some ideas. And then when the lesson starts, they use this application called Tencent meetings. So basically, the teacher will create a meeting, then they will send the link into the group so that everyone can attend the meeting. So basically, it will be more of like an online streaming. See, so the teacher will be teaching and then sharing the screen so that everyone can see and then explain. So basically, it's good.
So, from what you have said, can the students interact with the teacher? Like, can the students ask questions to the
Yes.
teacher, and can the teacher respond to the?
Yes, the students can ask the question because there is room for commenting. So like if you have a question, you just take the teacher's username and then you ask the question and then he'll reply you. So basically it's easier than in class, because in class you can't ask a question because you'll be disappointing like any other student, you see.
Oh, I get
Yeah.
your point. I get the point. So basically, you think that online class is better than
Yes,
going
yes.
to the class and having a one-on-one with the teacher?
Yes, it's more like one-on-one interaction. Like it encourages you to have more interaction with the teacher. Yeah, so basically it's fine. Then there's no need to go to the classes. You can just start using your laptop inside the room, take some important notes, and then you can further research on your studies.
Oh. Do you have any advice for the people who are out there?
Yeah, my advice to the people is that you should wash your hands using sanitizer or alcohol, because alcohol kills the bacteria or the virus. I don't know how it works, but basically that's how they're encouraging people to wash their hands. And then you should avoid going to crowded places. Then wear your mask every time so that you don't get the infection through droplet infection. So basically stay safe.
So that was Godwin Heiser from South Africa, an international student from SUSE studying pharmaceutical engineering, and this is what he had to say about the pandemic. As they say at SUSE,
Stay safe, unite, sanitize, and eat healthy. Shijijayo!
So, comme voici, nous avons interviewé des personnes qui nous ont fait part de leur impression par rapport au Covid-19 et de l'impact que cela a eu sur leur vie. Et en général, nous retenons ces points qui sont qu'il y a eu des températures qui étaient prises à des heures régulières, 3 fois par jour, c'est-à-dire dans la matinée, à l'après-midi et dans la soirée, pour vérifier l'état des étudiants. Et après, il fallait, pour pouvoir sortir de l'établissement, ce qui était vraiment pas permis, il fallait pouvoir demander la permission à nos professeurs pour pouvoir avoir la permission de sortir. Et c'était vraiment un grand pas, quelque chose de bien fait de la part de nos professeurs et de ceux qui nous ont en charge. Et donc, pour cela, pour ne pas perdre une année scolaire, il a fallu que nous ayons des cours en ligne. Il nous fallu faire des cours en ligne et bien après, des cours dans les classes ont été ouvertes pour que nous puissions faire des cours avec certains professeurs. Disons pour nous qui sommes restés en Chine, il a fallu que ce soit ainsi. Donc c'est aussi ça, le point de tout ce qui peut être fait et ce qui a été fait envers les étudiants étrangers.
We've learned from the international students that they used to cook from the dormitory. But now that the canteen is open, they can now eat from the canteen. However, the canteen has made some changes. Now the students cannot sit inside the canteen to have their meals. But however, they have introduced takeaways to maintain social distance and crowding. Also, if the students do not need or do not want rather to eat from the canteen, they can order their food from outside, which is commonly known as Waimai. But then the people from outside cannot come in with the food, so the students have to go by the gate to get their food from there. These are some of the changes that the international students here in China have come across. Thank you guys for watching. This video was made by SUSE F.MAG Team. Like our Facebook page at Sichuan University of Science and Engineering, and follow us on Instagram, SUSE_official.